Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Tomas Ramirez. I'm here with the trillest of the trill, the one and only Mr. Will. How are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing really good, dude. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to come be with us today on my podcast reviews, man. So, hell, I mean, shit, just kind of get into it, dude. Like, what made you start your own podcast, man?
Oh, dude, it's been something that I've been wanting to do for a while, man. Had some free time, man. Ended up buying a few mics. Some friends told me, "Hey, you need to do it," and you know, here I am.
Okay. So your friends are the ones that kind of. So you wanted to do it the whole time, but your friends are the ones that kind of pushed you to pursue it, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay, man, those are some real friends right there, dude. Those are
Oh
some
yeah.
real good friends, man. So on your podcast, I only listen to one show, so I'm sorry about that. But
You good?
what kind of topics do you normally talk about on your podcast?
Oh man, we do a little of everything on Real Talk, man. We talk about social issues, relationships, sports. We really don't dive into politics much, but sometimes with social issues, it runs into politics. So yeah,
Okay, all right. And when I had saw your show, I believe it was you and two other guys. Is that your regular cast or is it normally just you?
well, usually what happens is it's me, and what I do is I will then bring on guests who maybe can speak to the topic that I'm talking about. So, not an expert in the field, but someone with some experience in that particular subject is what I usually bring onto the show.
Okay, all right. And then on the episode that I saw, y'all were talking about race. Is there a reason like that you wanted to talk about race in that particular episode, or was it just something
Well,
that kind of just got brought up?
yes, a little of both. It's a topic that is sensitive, and there's some obvious things that take place that you want to discuss with your peers and anyone who's listening. And so it's always been something that I've been aware of. It kind of happened because I was having a conversation with a friend, and he brought up a topic that I thought would really be interesting to talk about on the show, because his perspective was coming from someone who was not black. So I'm viewing it differently. He's viewing it differently. Let's talk about it on the show.
Okay, and see that's I like stuff like that, dude, because instead of just hearing it from one side, you literally hear it from both sides, and then I feel like you
Exactly.
kind of get a better understanding of where both sides are coming from. Like you can't always agree with everybody, but you can at least understand where they're coming from and stuff, man.
Absolutely.
So I really do like that, man. So how long have you been doing your podcast?
Oh, dude. Man, we are going on. I started in February, actually. February was the kickoff. I recorded some stuff like the previous year, last year, but I didn't really like it. But I launched everything in February.
Okay, all right. And so far with your podcast going on, man, what was the biggest lesson that you've learned so far?
Oh, dude, biggest lesson. Um, Editing is not fun.
Yes, yes, no, it is not at all, man. It
It
takes
takes
a
up a
lot of
lot of
time.
time,
Yes, dude, yeah.
and you get so burnt out with trying to make it fit and cut out certain things. And yeah, I become almost a one take wonder. When I do it by myself, I can almost could do it in one take just because I don't want to edit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's something that I've learned too. Like I've learned to kind of just do it in one take, dude. Less editing. Cause when I first started, dude, I was using crutch words. I kept saying and shit, and I was kind of like, okay, I need to expand my vocabulary so I don't have to edit all that stuff out every 5 seconds or something, or every sentence, pretty much, man. Uh, so is there an episode on your podcast that you were like, this is gonna be the best episode I ever did, but then you just turned out it was just a disappointment due to views or just due on your part or just any guests you had or yeah, anything like that?
Yeah, I would say, well, it's two parts to this. It was one episode that I knew was going to be, it, and it turned out to be dope. And the second one that I thought that would be received really well, and it wasn't. And I didn't understand. I was like, damn. I mean, I thought this would really be it because I thought the content was good. And I
Mm.
thought the content was good. I thought, you know, what I was discussing was well. It was something that people could relate to, and nah, didn't turn out the way I thought.
So far, do you have a favorite episode that you've put out where you're like, this is just an episode, but then it ended up just turning out to be one of your like your top five or just your favorite?
Yeah, I would say, funny enough, my first one is my favorite episode.
Why is
And
that one?
well, because that one, it had so much passion in it. It
Okay.
was some personal views involved in it. It was a topic that is highly discussed in relationships is why do men cheat? And there was a lot of back and forth with it. So yeah, my first episode would probably be my favorite.
So, with your first episode, was it just you, or did you have someone like with you talking about that, or?
It was just me, but the feedback I got from it, and I had follow-up episodes which started a series on that why do men cheat because it was received so well. Um,
Okay.
so it kind of was the launching pad to me to now start making series out of my episodes because it would start off with myself and then I would bring in one guest and we would discuss the same topic from another point of view. And then I'll have a panel of people and we would talk about that same topic from two or three different points of view. So my first episode gave me that vision to what I do now. So it's my favorite because of that, and it's also my favorite because it has, the most feedback on it. People really like it.
Okay. And is that series still going? Why do men cheat? Are you still doing that series with other people, or?
Well, yeah, actually, yes. It kind of slowed down a little because I had some other stuff that I wanted to get into. The Two Americas with the episode, one of the episodes you listened to about race. I wanted to get into that. I thought that one was really would be really intriguing, and I didn't want to kind of beat people over the head with the same topic as far as why do men cheat. So I wanted kind of to branch out, but still be able to go back to it. So, but yes, to answer your question, yeah, it's still something that I'm doing.
Okay. And how many segments to that one do you have so far, if you can remember?
Three,
Three. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Hell yeah.
yeah, three. I believe I have three to that one. No, I believe it's two. I take that back. It's two to that one, and then I have one that was really good. Off of that one was called "Can We Be Friends," which is basically um, a male and a female being friends in a committed relationship. For instance, let's say I'm married, but I have a homegirl. Can I still be friends with her?
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a really good series as well. So
So, can I get your opinion on that? Because
yeah,
like,
let's talk. Let's talk.
do you think in a couples like you can have opposite sex as friends?
I think if you had those friends before you were in a relationship and you introduced your friend to your partner, then yes. But I
Okay.
think you must respect that person should respect your relationship as far as there's certain things we can't do together anymore that we might have used to do separately. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like cuddling on the couch or something. Like literally with it being innocent, nothing at all. Like no, I understand. I understand.
Right, right, right. So
Um.
there's certain boundaries or lines you shouldn't cross anymore out of respect for that relationship now. But yeah, I believe so. But I really think with a lot of communication I mean, that's the key. In all my episodes at the end, I really push communication. I think communication is the key to making any of those relationships work.
Okay. And when you said the friends that you had before you got in a relationship, so what about any like new girls
New
that try to
friends?
talk to you or yeah.
No new friends, man. No
Okay,
new
okay. So you're
friends.
like,
No.
nah, stay away, huh?
Well, I mean, I would say it's really, case by case, but if we're being realistic, for the most part, if you're in a committed relationship or married, um, you're not really in the circle so much with people who want to be your friends, so to speak. You know, it's like, I know you're in a relationship, they kind of fall back. And then it's so, again, it's case by case. You bring her or him in, depending on the relationship. And hey, this is somebody I met at work. They like bowling. I like bowling. Um,
Okay.
when we come out, hey, I want you to meet them, this, that, and the third. So with communication, it can happen. I just think it makes it easier if it's a situation that you already know that, look, this is my friend that I've had for 10 years. And now I introduce her to you when we first started dating. You already understand that this is the dynamic of it. I'm going to respect our relationship. Our friendship is going to now kind of fall back some because now I can't do certain things I used to do with my friend because now I have a girl, you know?
Mhm.
So it can work. It just takes communication.
Man, dude, like you're really fucking smart, man. Like, is this just like years of like just watching everything around you, or just like your parents, grandparents telling you this, or you just watching others, or
Life experience, man. Life experiences. And thank you. I mean, I'd consider myself to be okay. I don't know if I'm smart, but life experiences, man. Truly, and being humble. You know, being humbled, being honest with yourself, because a lot of people are delusional about things, man. Just being honest and being real. And I think that
okay.
really what helps me in relationships with my friends, with my wife, with my kids, with whomever. You know, I want to be honest, upfront, and take it from there.
Okay, yeah, because I've been married for 10 years already. We're going to be 11 years in August. But any girl that like I kind of first meet, dude, literally the first sentence out my mouth is, "Hey, I'm married, just so you know." Like,
Hmm.
this ain't going. And then I make damn sure I tell my wife that day, "Hey, I met this person, just so you know. We just talked about this, this, and this. It's nothing
Yes.
really." So she doesn't really worry about any of the stuff like
Well,
that,
you're a
man.
pretty smart guy too, man. Because that's getting ahead of it right there. Because a lot of times, if you don't do those things, man, you can set yourself up for failure in the long run, man. So those are really, I hate to use this word, but I'm gonna use this for being precautionary. You know, you're taking the preventative steps to make sure that I don't run into any issues moving forward, or lead anybody on to make them think of anything differently. So yeah, man, that's pretty dope, man. That's smart.
Man, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I gotta give the credit to my wife though, man. We met when we were like kids, kind of. So she kind
Okay.
of put up with so much of my bullshit, and then I
Yeah.
kind of just matured. It's long. Longer the relationship was, I matured better and stuff. Became the husband
Right.
that she actually deserved and stuff, man. So,
Right. That's dope, man. That's dope.
thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. So, is there any topics that you kind of stay away from due to criticism?
To be honest with you, man, it's funny. I was kind of talking with my wife about um, certain things. She calls me the jack of all trades, and it's like, well, you can talk about anything. But my own personal comfort, I think I would probably stay away from something that I have little to no knowledge on. And for instance, I kind of stay away from gay relationships because I don't have any gay friends. I'm a straight male, so anything I'm getting ready to say now is going to be just an opinion totally based off of no real life experience. So I try to
Hmm.
stay away from things that I don't have any real life experience to discuss just because I want people, it's called Real Talk, so I want to give you my perspective from life experiences that has worked for me or for others. I can't talk about something and give you that if I don't know anything about it. Like, I'm not going to talk about 13th century Renaissance art. I don't know anything about that art.
Right.
So there's certain topics that I probably would, but I'd be willing to bring someone on the show who would be living that lifestyle to where okay, they can speak to it, and now I can ask questions, and I would have someone with some experience, real life experience in that field, to be able to talk about it. So to answer your question, not really. I mean, I'm open to anything because I love conversation. I love the different perspectives.
Nice.
But nothing in particular.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and like you said, I kind of do the same thing. Like if I know what I'm talking about, I'll talk about it. because I don't want to be like the Karens out there that just say stuff just just so they can be heard, and they just
Right.
look dumb, sound dumb, and it's like, yeah, shut up, dude. Like you
Yeah.
have no
Right.
idea what you're talking about. Okay, so have you ever said anything on your podcast that you regretted or just had to apologize for, or you kind of just look back and kind of kick yourself a little bit?
Yeah, man. You hear your. I mean, man. Sometimes you don't even like the sound of your voice when you go
Mm.
back. Like, man, that's what I sound like. Like I wish I could. But everybody else is digging it. Like, oh man, you got a great voice. It's like I don't like the way I sound. I would say, yeah, there was a few, but one in particular that kind of stood out was we were having a discussion about emotional cheating and physical cheating, and I made a comment basically stating that emotional cheating is nowhere near as serious as physical cheating. But I did not put in the disclaimer of to me. I should have said to me, emotional cheating and physical cheating is nowhere near the same. And I just said I left it as that. So it didn't necessarily come back to bite me, but when I heard it and when others kind of, mentioned like their experiences with emotional cheating, it kind of made me feel like, well, I kind of hate that I wasn't clear when I said emotional cheating is not as serious to me as physical cheating. So that would probably be one of the ones that kind of stick out the most, because I was like, I wish I would have done that because I didn't want to turn any listeners off or have anyone with, making them feel like I was slighting or minimizing their situation. So
Okay, and to me, because I don't know the difference, man. What is the difference between? Well, I know the difference between physical cheating, but what is emotional cheating? What is that?
emotional cheating, and like I said, I had an episode where my wife was describing it so well. I had an idea, but she kind of cleared it up. For instance, let's just say I use bowling as the example. I have a love for bowling. I meet a lady who bowls as well. We meet up and we go bowling. I tell her things that my wife doesn't know I'm telling her. I lean on her for certain things when I should be leaning on my wife. And it's not anything sexual, so to speak. It's just the fact that now I'm leaning on her in a matter that I should be leaning on my wife. And it really gets, for me, it gets a little touchy because realistically speaking, I emotionally cheat on my wife with my friend because I talk to him about things. I lean on him emotionally. All of these things take place, but the change of the game is when the sex could be involved. I'm a straight male, so I'm not having sex with my friend who's a guy.
Right, right.
I could have sex with this lady. So now it's emotional cheating because I am with someone and sharing these things with her that I should be telling my wife. And not just the
Okay.
bowling. I use the bowling as where it's innocent, but now we build something bigger because now we're spending time together. Now we're talking about stuff.
Yeah, and
When
she
you got to
actually knows your something personal about you.
exactly. So that's one of the many different forms of emotional cheating versus physical cheating. And again, for me, not even to get deep into it, but just on the surface, bro. There's so many different things that could be considered emotional cheating. We don't have any disagreement on. We all understand what physical cheating is. There's no
Oh
other
yeah.
definition other than this is what that is. So that's where, for me, it becomes. Again, I don't want to say not as heavy, but the line is not as clear. You know, like me
Hmm.
just having a conversation, you can interpret that as emotional cheating with someone, but you would never interpret it as physical cheating. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
and when someone throws out the word cheater, you automatically go to physical. No one thinks about, oh, he emotionally cheated on you. No, you're thinking he had sex with her. He went out and had sex with someone. So for me, when I hear that, it's like I want to give emotional cheating the weight that it deserves because it could be very bad in certain situations, but nothing trumps the physical act because
Hmm.
there is no other definition to physical cheating than intercourse, some form. some form of sexual act took place. So
Hmm.
that's my take on the whole physical and emotional cheating.
Okay. All right. Just because we're on the topic of cheating, do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater, or do you believe
No,
people can actually? Okay. All right.
no.
Hell yeah. So you believe
I
people
don't.
can actually change?
Yeah, I'm a big believer in people do what they want.
Hmm.
We honestly
Oh,
do what we want. Very rarely in life are we faced with decisions where we're forced to do something by gunpoint or by a knife to the throat. Okay, no one has a gun to your head making you make a decision. No one has a knife to your throat making you make these decisions. You have the choice to either do one or the other. You
hmm.
either choose to do it or you don't. I honestly feel like if someone wants to not cheat, they won't. If someone wants to steal, they will. Like it's one of those things that either you do it or you don't. So I believe that a
Okay.
person can change, but honestly, I feel like the change has to be something, of course, that comes within and has to be a sense of urgency has to be placed on them. Like, okay, look, if you do this again, I'm out, and you need to care about that person because if she tells you this or if he tells her that, and they don't feel that way, they're not going to change. So
Yeah.
I honestly feel like yes, a person can stop doing whatever they want if they want it. And then depending on what the addiction is, if we're talking about something like where it's a drug or something, and that's different because that's a chemical that's in the brain. But we're talking about something physically. Can I stop doing it? Can you stop
Hmm.
playing PlayStation as much as you play PlayStation? Well, yes, I can. Do I
Okay.
want to is a different subject, but yes, I can. So I think a person can change. Yes, once a cheater, not always anything. So yeah.
Hey, all right. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, man. So this next one is a speed round. It's called Finish This Sentence. I just say something, you just say the first thing that kind of pops in your head, all right? All right, so if I could have anyone on my show, dead or alive, it would be.
MLK.
Oh, fuck. Okay. If I could have any superpower in the world, it would be
Flight.
The person I respect the most is.
My wife.
Best sex I ever had was with.
My wife.
my favorite position is.
Ooh. um, doggy style.
I was talking about sports.
No, you
Nah.
wasn't.
Nah. I I hate that I like
Nice.
this corny ass song.
Say it again.
I hate that I love this corny ass song.
Oh, corny song. Something about the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, okay. My
It's like in the raindrops keep falling on my head.
I like when
Okay.
I'm with my boys and stuff, I'll kind of like, change that. But then when I'm by
Nice.
myself, I'll kind of turn it up a little bit and sing
That's what I'm
along to
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
it. But so
That's kind of it. With the set with the interview, man. Is there anything that you want to say, promote, shout out to anybody, or the floor is all yours.
I got a little bit of that, but I also have a few questions for you. I want to put you in the chair
okay.
for a second.
All
Okay.
right, all right.
Um, I was trying to do some research to get a little bit about your background. Are you from Austin?
Yes. Austin, Texas,
Okay.
born and raised.
Okay. And would it be? I'm trying to figure out how to say this without sounding like an idiot. Your your heritage would be what?
Hispanic, Mexican.
Okay. Do your parents speak Spanish?
Yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
No, I do not.
Why not?
Okay, so this is what my parents. All right, now I know right now it's on me to learn it, and I am learning very little. But when I was younger, man, the only time my parents and grandparents would speak Spanish around us is if they were saying something about us.
As far as it was, dude, on them, they did not want to teach us. I have no idea why. They just said, oh, well, actually, my dad, he answered it once. He said,
Because he didn't think it would be important when I grew up. And then now that I grew up, if you know two language, you could kind of get a job anywhere, man.
man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's why now I'm trying to learn, especially because I've worked with real Mexicans and it's hard to communicate, other than like pointing and say I
right,
need or something. So
right, right.
I'm learning now, but as far as it is, I don't really know a lot.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, man, I was it's just a little background. I know you're like, man, that's kind of a weird question, man. I'm big on heritage and culture. I like to know different things about different people so I can get a better understanding. And I grew up with a lot of Hispanic and Mexican friends, and we would have that discussion, and I would hear different stories on why it wasn't spoken in their home. And now they wish that they might have did speak those, speak their native tongue, so to speak, because of the reason that you spoke of, and as well as just still being connected. And not to say that you're not, I'm not saying you're not because you don't. I'm just saying that that was some of the things that I heard. And I'd just like to hear the different, reasons why people don't, if they do. I had a friend who told me that he didn't teach it to his kids, which to me was like, so upsetting. We wasn't close enough for me to let him know that it bothered me. But when he said that, it kind of bothered me. I was like, dude, that's a part of who you are, man. Your parents are proud, and they were. His parents were very proud, and they spoke it, and they spoke, English, well as well. But it's a part of who you are. It's like I don't understand why you wouldn't teach that. So off the rails altogether, man. As far as shout outs, man, definitely want to give a shout out to a few of my DJs, DJ Pomo. You can follow him at DJ Pomo. He actually's in Austin quite a bit doing different things there on Instagram. He's the DJ for the Rockets in the arena. He puts together a lot of different music, working with a guy named Drum Master who does the music for me as well for my show. You can follow me, Instagram at We'll Talk Podcast. There's where I'm going to have different information that you can follow me on, see things that I got going on, as well as my Gmail account. You can send an email, questions there as well if you don't want to, if you're into the old-fashioned email, that's going to be I Will Talk Podcast number 10 at gmail.com. Yeah, that's as far as it. As far as things I got coming up, man, I just did a show called Mad Fans, just talking about how these fans are going crazy, with the players in the NBA, the NFL, as far as spitting on them, throwing popcorn. And I got Two Americas Part 3 that's coming up too.
Okay, all right, man. Again, Will, I really, really appreciate you taking time out to come on this, man. Hopefully, we can get another one out of you in the
Absolutely.
future or something, man. Uh, but yeah, man, you have a great day. Stay blessed, stay humble, man. Wish you nothing but the best for you and your podcast, and you and your family as well, man.
Same to you, my friend. Thanks for having me on. I can't wait for us to link up again.